Well, good morning, crew. Good morning, and welcome to Noel's Garden Tractors and Firewood. And today we're going to be back at the mowing deck that belongs to Kablewie. And I've got an idea. I'll show you what I've found, and I kind of expected it, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do to fix it, but I have an idea. It's not going to be the perfect fix, it's just going to be a fix. Backyard, you know what fix. Anyway, I'll show you the weather here in a minute, and it is a hibernation day today, that is for sure. Alright, I'll get you turned around here and I'll get you to the weather. Oh yes, and I do have my poppy on. So I'll give you a little shot of what's going on outside. It's wet and damp and all that kind of stuff. I would be guessing this is what Joseph in England gets a lot of. Cloudy, wet, damp, cool, that kind of weather. Because he says he doesn't get a whole lot of snow. So I think that's probably what he gets most of. All right, the weather today. Let's see what we got here now. Oh, excuse me. Seems that my cold has came back, and it seems to be getting down into my throat and chest area. So there you go. So what we got here? 5 degrees Celsius and 41 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's not good. South wind at 16 miles an hour. I really don't feel anything outside there today for wind. So we're supposed to get to 10 degrees today and showers, and tomorrow is going to be a nice day, 17 and sun and cloud. 6 on Thursday, sun and clouds. 7 on Friday, sun and cloud. And it was supposed to rain Friday, so that's good. Saturday is still rain and 5 degrees, and 4 for Sunday, and 6 degrees and showers for Remembrance Day. That kind of figures. All right, there we go. So I was out this morning and I bought some stuff. Holy cats, stuff is expensive. But I know it's going to work. Or I'm reasonably sure it is, from what I've seen on my other 2 decks. So I bought a can of that. And that's what this deck is going to get. Same as the Case deck over there got, and the same as the Massey Ferguson deck got. Expensive. What was it? I think $89 for that. So, and as I said before, I think it's, if you don't seal it up right afterwards, it can go hard on you, and there you are, your can is hardened, and you've lost yourself $100. So I did some searching on the internet, and I did see a couple of things that I think will certainly help with keeping the can sealed. And a couple of them I did think of myself, I suppose. But so when you open the top cover of the can, you have to take the stuff out of it and put it into a different container to use it. And then don't put any of the used Por15 back in the can with the new Por15, because that will ruin it. That's one thing I know. The other thing is, some people, what they do is they leave, when they put the cap back on, put that on there, the cap, and then they store it upside downy. So that keeps the air away from that end. It's the air and the moisture that hardens that product. So if you keep it like that, it's good like that. And I've heard of that before. I think I have a can of seam sealer here that I do the same thing with. Another way is to, when you take your top off, put a layer of saran wrap over it. Then put your top back on. That keeps the top, because you're going to get some in the gully here where the can goes in to seal. And when you put that top back on, and that stuff hardens, well, I'll show you over in this little can. You can see how the black is in there. So some of that, when you pour it out, of course, you get some of that little gully there. So you put the top back in, you squeeze the top back on top of that Por15 in the gully. You can't get that off. You can pry and do whatever you want with that. It will not come out. And my son had the same trouble with his, and he eventually got it out, but he had said that he pried it so much that this piece that you pry on bent up over the top of this. So that's what happens to it. Once it gets, if it's left to the air and exposed, it hardens rock solid. And you can't get that off. There now. That's another thing. So, all right, back to the over here. Hopefully I can remember everything I want to say here. So anyway, things, if you look up on the internet how to keep that from hardening, it comes up with a whole bunch of different ideas on how to do that. So one of them is the saran wrap over here, so then this cover isn't touching the Por15 in the little gully there. Another way to do it is apparently is I can set that up there. I'm not sure exactly, but I've done some thinking on that. But they say to put a screw in here and put a screw in there. So take this screw out and take that one out, and you can pour the Por15 out for the amount that you want. Put the two screws back in, and the Por15 will seal up those screws, and the screws will come back out, they say. So I thought of that myself the other day, but it does say that. It does say that on the website thing I found. So my thinking was, and I don't know if my thinking is right or not, but maybe to put the pouring hole there and put the air hole over here on the top. And put the other screw in here for the pouring. So then, when you are done with it, because if it's over here, you're not going to get all the fluid out once you get to the bottom, I guess. So it's over here, you'll get it all. Anyway, I'll have to do some more thinking on that. I don't know that for sure, what I'll do with that. Anyway, there's a couple of ideas as to how to keep it from going hard on you. Because if you left it out and it gets air to it, that's it. It's hard, and that's it. You've lost your can. So I got that this morning. So then I went to, and you have to go to Princess or Canadian Tire to get that, I think. Well, that's where I went, but my son said they seem to be the distributor for it or something. So then I got myself a belt with the Princess Auto, and got myself a 39-inch belt for this. If that works, good, and if it don't, then I'll take it back and get a 40. And what else did I get? And I still have to get other stuff eventually, but I got a can of this. A rust check. Any of you that are in Canada, and I think probably all the stores are the same, I don't know, but that's on sale for $9.99. The regular $12 or $13.99. So if you're looking for that stuff, you might want to slip in the Princess Auto and see, or check on your internet for your store and see if it is on sale or not. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I may have to buy some more of this, but I want to show you now what I'm going to do with that. Now, in yesterday's video, you kind of saw what I was up against here, but I think. Anyway, this poor old deck is in bad shape. I knew that anyway, but I didn't realize. I guess I did, and I guess I didn't. But anyway, somebody had cut this out. This was all cut out, and this here piece was welded back in. And it goes around and comes over to here. So that was rusted out. There's a patch there. There's a patch there. There's a patch here that goes right along the back. There's a patch there. There's a bad spot there, but that's got a patch over it, I believe. A patch here. And you can see here where the deck was completely gone and they put a patch over it. All this here. So she's had a hard life. But anyway, it still works. And it cuts good. So what I'm finding, I'm trying to get all the old surface stuff off so I can get to the metal. I want to get like that stuff that I had put on. I believe it's just paint, but anyway, you can see that kind of a grayish colored stuff there. I'm trying to get as much of that off as I can so I can get right to the rust underneath. So in doing that, I'm finding some spots that have got holes. Small one there. And a few places like that. I'd have to kind of look again, I guess, but there's one there. There's a little one here. Now, some of them things that won't make any difference, but I'm going to try and experiment, because I think I'll try fixing that at the front. Not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. I'd like to seal that somehow, so that the grass and stuff don't go in underneath that. But anyway, I don't know. We'll have to see, I guess, about that. Anyway, eventually, whatever I do here, what I'll show you in a second what I'm going to try and do. And then the whole thing is going to get the Por15 to it. Now, this thing, like I said, is probably 40 to 50 years old. And if I can get another 10 years out of it, well, that's about all I'm going to be doing anyway, so. So my idea here is, and like I say, I may have to buy more of this JB weld. But what I'm going to do is mix that up. That stuff is good stuff too. It gets as hard as can be, and it's thick enough that you could almost cover some of those holes there just with a layer of that. And but what I'm planning to do is I'm going to cut out little pieces out of this cloth here, maybe, or I haven't really searched yet as to what kind of cloth I want to use, but something like that. And then I'll mix this stuff up, squish it into the fibers onto the cloth, and then put the piece of cloth over the holes. And then maybe take a little bit more and just kind of go around the edge of the cloth with the JB weld. Then, I know that'll get hard as anything. And you can actually sand that and drill it, that stuff. And so yeah, that's what I'm going to do, I think. I just have to find the right cloth. I'm not sure if I'll use that or not. And then once that's done, then that Por15 will go over the whole deck and over them hatches. I did fix a fireplace, cast fireplace cover opening, or whatever you want to call it, at my sister-in-law's place. At the red house I showed you the other day on the, where I showed you my father and my grandfather in the bus station for pictures there. And the grandfather is on the side where he's looking at the house that he built in 1920, which is the red house is where my sister-in-law lives, which has this cast iron type opening for a fireplace there. It was meant to burn coal, that fireplace. Anyway, that cast piece broke, cracked somehow. I don't know how, but anyway. So I took it off and I bronzed it back together. And then I used the JB weld to fix up any imperfections there. It worked great. And then I painted it all black. You'd never know that I ever fixed it. And it's never broke since. So that was probably 5, 6, 7 years ago now, I guess. Anyway, that's what I'm up to here. So this might be getting a little long here today. Anyway, I'll shut you off and I'll see what I'm going to do here. I might do up one of those little patches with the JB weld and the cloth, and I'll try a spot and see how that works, and I'll get back to you and show you what's going on with that. Oh, and I did grease up my bearings here. Oh, these bearings, I'm telling you, there's not a movement in them. They're as tight and smooth as can be. Nice, not a thing wrong with those at all. And each one of them took grease very easily. So I'm real happy about that. All right, that's going to be good for now. I'll get back to you a little bit later if I get any more progress. All right, so now it's after dinner and I came back out and did some more on it, and I tried out my thought, I guess. So I cut up a couple of pieces of that thin type of cloth, and I mixed up some of that JB weld, and I put it on that cardboard, and I squished the JB weld all through the cloth. Then I covered up 2 places that were kind of had holes in them. place and that place. And some of the other stuff I just kind of did patches, and where there were some small holes. The JV weld is thick enough that you can go over a hole about the size of a what? Size of a pen maybe, or something, or kind of like the size of the end of the spark plug there, and you can fill up a hole that size about without using anything for a cloth or anything like that. So now I'll cover that with Por15. That's the next step, but that won't be probably until Thursday. The stuff stays tacky for quite a while, so they say 24 hours on the package. So maybe late tomorrow afternoon, or it'll be Thursday. We'll put the Por15 to it. Anyhow, that's the update for now. I'll get back to you. I think I'll end this one here, so we'll see you later, wherever you're at and whatever you're doing. And I seem to be losing my voice for some reason. Oh dear. Oh well. That's probably a good thing. All right, goodbye now.